Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to the latest episode of the KingSmith podcast.
KingSmith
Yeah. With your hosts, Nathan Smith and
Zach King.
you got that right. Hey, guys, we got quite a bit of things to discuss and talk about
Yeah, we
today.
got a big episode tonight.
Oh, my gosh.
First of all, right off the top, Nathan, I think we announced this in our last episode,
Yes, we did.
but just to reiterate, this episode is the season 1 finale of KingSmith.
What?
By no means is this the last episode of KingSmith. By no means are we done making KingSmith. We have had a lot of fun making
Yes, we have.
these 14 episodes with you. And by the way, 14 episodes is not going to be the set number of episodes in a season. Me and Nathan were talking earlier today before recording.
Mm-hmm.
I have dang near over 30 episode ideas.
We're going to have a lot next time.
But in the next season, in the future seasons, be prepared for revisiting some of our older subjects, new subjects,
Right.
having former guests back on.
Oh, yeah.
I know Tim Ulrich, I have to remember how to pronounce his name, has already spoken to me at least about some of the stuff he wants to talk about.
I know one person who wants to come on sometime, too.
Yeah.
Dawson Andrews.
Yeah, our buddy Dawson Andrews. Hopefully we'll get that done.
Dawson, if you're listening, we're making it happen. I know you've been texting me, buddy.
Another person is Zach. I can't remember. We call him 2K. His name is
Zach Gatalolai. Yes.
His last name is Hawaiian, and
What? He's Samoan.
or Samoan. See, I'm stupid. My bad, 2K. I'm sorry, buddy. I love you. If you're listening. But anyway, we call him 2K because obviously his name is also Zach, and he spells his with 2 Ks at the end.
And he's cool.
He's awesome.
He's a cool guy. Yeah.
But yeah, be prepared for new guests, returning guests, new topics, old topics. I know the
Topics.
I know the Chiefs and Packers are playing this next football season.
And the Packers are going to win.
Doubtful, but
Jordan, I'm looking at you.
Keep on.
Jordan, who we want to love. Okay.
All right. And we'll have plenty more NFL topics. I might sneak baseball in here a little bit every now and then if I can.
Baseball.
Speaking of the NFL, Nathan,
Yeah. Oh.
yesterday something
out of the blue happened.
literally out of the blue, or should I say out of the red?
I mean, yes,
Okay.
it's the Washington, not Redskins. So yeah.
So,
Oh, I'm sorry. We might get canceled if I say Washington Redskins. The Washington Commanders. Okay.
I have Native American blood, and I'm not offended. So,
Okay, Elizabeth Warren.
I have way more than make believe Pocahontas. But anyway,
DeAndre Hopkins.
So, for all of you that don't know, DeAndre Hopkins is a wide receiver in the NFL. He began his career with the Houston Texans.
I'm sorry.
Then he got traded to the Arizona Cardinals, who then proceeded to release him.
Yeah.
Okay. Nathan, permit me to go on a little bit of a rant here. When I heard DeAndre Hopkins was initially traded,
Right.
I was like, okay, you trade DeAndre Hopkins, you can't pay him the money.
Right. I mean, he's great, but if you can't pay him,
You can't pay him because, granted, the Texans had to pay Deshaun Watson, their all-star quarterback. And it was a similar situation to the Chiefs with Tyreek Hill.
Right.
Now, when he initially got traded, I thought, okay, first round pick, a clear for at least one first round pick,
Right.
a couple seconds maybe, and maybe some later rounds.
Right.
The Houston Texans traded him for a washed-up running back, a fourth and a fifth.
I remember that. That was like 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
2 years ago, 3 years ago.
That was
I was just like,
stupid release.
okay. To make something clear, DeAndre Hopkins. Let's see if Nathan agrees with me here, folks.
Mm-hmm.
DeAndre Hopkins is without a doubt in the conversation.
He's one of the best receivers in the NFL.
Yeah.
Why did the
Wouldn't you
Cardinals
say-
get rid of him?
Wouldn't you say he's in the conversation for at least top 5? Definite top 10.
Definitely top 10.
Top 5.
Who would all be up on the top 5 list for receivers? We got
Devontae Adams, of course.
Devontae's going to be up there.
Devontae,
Well, Devontae with Aaron Rodgers this year, I wouldn't say so.
yeah.
Um,
I'm not saying all the
Oh,
time,
my
but
goodness.
currently Devontae, I'd say Tyreek Hill
I was
is
going to say Tyreek Hill's going to be on there.
got to be out in top 5. DeAndre Hopkins
Yeah.
would be in the top 5. That's the top 3, I'd say. Then you got guys like Cooper Kupp, DK Metcalf.
Mm-hmm.
I'd
It's
say
been a minute.
I'd say it's debatable. Like he's for sure top 10. It's debatable whether or not he's in the top 5. I think he is.
Right.
I think DeAndre Hopkins.
I think there's an argument for it.
I'd say there's at least
argument for
at the
it.
very least an argument for DeAndre Hopkins being a top 5 wide receiver in this league.
Yeah.
At this moment. To trade him for basically nickels on the dime.
Yeah, you can't do that. That's
It's like you traded him for a couple poker chips and some Monopoly money.
that's like if you were Bill Gates and you had all your wealth and riches and everything, and then traded it away because you wanted like
It's like okay.
dirt.
To make an extreme comparison, it's like if Bill Gates
Yeah.
came to Kansas City, walked up to me and you, Nathan, and said, "Hey, I'll trade you your massive college debt, your poor lifestyle, for all my money and wealth."
Ooh.
Right? Am I wrong?
This is the reality of the situation. Yes.
I'll trade you all. I'll give you all my money, and all what I receive is your college debt. Being extremely poor, I think we have a combined $500 in our bank account.
Okay, I'm not that broke.
I'm not that broke either.
Well, we're both getting pretty close to that. I
Yeah.
spent a lot of money this week.
But anyway,
At any rate.
but yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins, why would they trade? No, they didn't even trade him. They just cut him.
Well, yeah. I'm sorry. I was talking about the Texans trading him for a running back.
But the Cardinals are just being stupid.
The Cardinals are rivaling that decision. Back to the Texans. I was massively upset when I heard they traded him for a running back.
Yeah.
Do you understand how
okay.
short their careers are?
Okay. Here's the deal. If you can't pay him and you know it, and you trade and you're going to get somebody good.
Right.
Not a 35-year-old dude. How old was he that he traded him for?
He was 30. I think he was 30.
He was 30. Well, yeah, even then, they're coming off the prime.
Running backs have an extremely short,
Usually it's about 5 years are really good, and then the next 3 years after that, give or take, and then after...
Look at Ezekiel Elliott. He had
Zeke, yeah.
He had, 5 years of being really good.
Oh, he was awesome, and then he just dropped off the face of the earth.
Running backs' careers are extremely short. Their primes are shorter. It is
5 to 7 years, max.
It is very rare for a quarterback to go 10 years in the league.
Yeah. Well, who was
And
it?
that's not. I'm not trying to bash on running backs, right?
No, it's not bashing. That's the reality of the situation.
It's just because the position has so much contact.
Who was the one, Mr. Beast Mode?
Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah. He's like one of the only ones who probably could have ever made it as long as he did.
Right.
Well, he was like almost 40 when he finally left.
Yeah. Listen, y'all. Not every position is gonna have a Tom Brady where they can just go to 45.
Yeah.
To trade a prime wide receiver.
A very prime wide receiver in his 20s at that point in time.
Think about it now. If the Texans had called the Chiefs at that point, I would have been willing to trade Tyreek Hill and maybe a second-round pick. I think that would have been a fair trade.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a fair trade.
That would have been a good trade.
That would have been a great trade. That way, you're basically doing a 1-for-1.
Yeah. And actually, the Texans would come out with the better end of the deal on that even.
I think so, yeah.
But still.
Well, I think the Chiefs, they would give the Chiefs some good draft picks along with that.
They would have to. They'd have to get probably a first rounder,
but yeah. Look at Tyreek Hill.
Maybe a second or a third.
Look at Tyreek Hill last year. He got the Chiefs 11 draft picks. Some of those were first-round picks. He got the Chiefs an extra first-round pick.
He got the Chiefs everything.
DeAndre Hopkins should have gotten a first-round pick when he was traded.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would argue he's still worth a later first-round pick.
I think so too. I think he's still. I think he's still in his prime.
Right.
He's playing this best of his game, and then the Cardinals are just like, well, we can't pay you, and
excuse me,
like, come on.
Excuse me while I take a drink from
I got
my
you, dude.
nondescript water bottle.
How in the world did the Cardinals get so stupid as to cut one of their number one players ever? I mean, they could have gone to the bowl. Now him and Kyler Murray are probably at odds with each other.
Right.
I mean, that's a divorce.
Okay.
That's like losing a family member. That's like if your husband died. Like, come on.
Think about it this way.
Sorry.
Sometimes I'm a huge proponent of the receiver does not make the quarterback.
Yeah.
Look at Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. A
lot of people are saying, oh, he's going to take a step back because he lost Hill. Oh, he's going to take a step back.
No, he took a step, he took about 5 steps forward on a broken leg. So.
He won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And Super Bowl MVP. He won another MVP award, like an NFL MVP. Again, without Hill.
Didn't need him.
And now,
didn't need him.
Basically for nothing, besides a contract.
Yeah.
Basically for nothing, the Chiefs can get Hopkins. And
they can get him for free. Oh, my goodness.
And they're at the... Okay, so... I say this as a surprise because everybody thought Hopkins was going to get traded, right?
Yeah.
He should have gotten traded.
He should have gotten traded.
And back when Hopkins was talking... But people were talking about Hopkins getting traded, right? Mm-hmm. They were saying, oh, the Chiefs are in the top 5 to get him.
Well, now they're probably going to get him.
The Chiefs, the Bills, a few other...
The Bills got him.
They'd be
a scary team, too.
Right.
Josh Allen and DeAndre Hopkins would be a good combo.
But, yeah. But the Chiefs can get him for free. And this would be a mutually beneficial deal. Mm-hmm. You don't think guys like Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce would take a pay cut, say, hey, go get me Hopkins? Tom Brady took team-friendly deals for years.
Right.
He ended up with Randy Moss for a couple years.
Oh, dude. I forgot about that. Yeah.
And that was where a few of his best years. Was when Tom Brady had Randy Moss. Yeah. Why? Because Randy Moss could catch anything.
Randy Moss was awesome. Then he went to the Vikings, right?
No, he came from the Vikings.
Or he came from the Vikings. That's right.
Because
he shot the moon to my stadium.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that.
Randy Moss could basically take anything for a touchdown. Mm-hmm. DeAndre Hopkins has one of the best catch radiuses I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He like we said earlier, he's one of the best running backs in the league.
Yeah.
Or not running backs.
Wide receiver.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I already had a gaffe at the beginning of this when I said the Washington Redskins.
My bad. But anyway, to release him without getting anything, right?
Right. Yeah, you can't. No.
Okay. Think about it this way.
I'm trying.
The Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson took a really long time to get a contract figured
Yep.
out. They did on draft day.
It worked.
It worked.
It worked. They did it.
They did it.
Done.
They got it done. Good job. Good job.
Yay.
But
10 out of 10.
There was two possible. There was two other ways they could have gone with that. There's I think it's like a unrestricted free agent and a restricted free agent.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm right on that.
Yeah, they could have done it that way.
They could have done it that way. Basically, if they had done the restricted free agent, he couldn't sign with anybody else, and
They should have gone unrestricted free agency with him.
I think they did. They initially went unrestricted free agent because with unrestricted free agent, what they could have done with Lamar Jackson is any team could have come to him with a contract.
Yep.
Said, "Hey, Lamar, you signed this contract. You come play for us."
Right.
And it could have been 5 year. It could have been the same contract the Ravens ended up offering.
Yeah.
Which I think was 5 year, like two something.
Yeah. Yep.
They could come to Lamar with the same exact contract he has now.
Mm-hmm.
5 years, $200 and some odd million.
Right.
The Ravens then would have the opportunity to match that, which they would. I think they would have.
Yeah, I think they probably would have, yeah.
If they didn't match it, they would have gotten two compensatory picks, basically.
Yes.
So even if Lamar signed with another team and they had him under the unrestricted free agent tag, the unrestricted franchise tag, I should say.
Yep.
I keep saying free agent. I mean franchise tag.
It's, yeah.
But if they don't try the unrestricted free franchise tag, they would have gotten some picks for Lamar.
Yeah.
Which they probably should have because Lamar's.
They should have.
But now there's the contract.
It's too late, so it don't matter.
It doesn't matter. To get nothing for a grade A player, just to release him and eat money
It's
in
plain
dead cap.
stupid. I mean, why didn't they just get rid of some like third stringers and fourth stringers?
Right.
Get rid of some rookies. Come on.
Uh-huh.
Like let's use our brains here. You don't cut your main guy.
Okay, back to my point. Back to my point about the quarterback, the receiver not making the quarterback. DeAndre Hopkins made a lot of quarterbacks look better.
He did. He really did.
Because if you remember, before the Texans had Deshaun Watson.
That's right.
They had a carousel.
Yep.
They had Hopkins, and they had J.J. Watt.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Hopkins and JJ were on the same team.
Those two made that team look
They
made them look functional.
I was gonna say they made him look good.
They made them look good.
They were okay. They weren't great, but they were okay.
Then Watson came in. Him and Hopkins made a connection.
Well, and
dimes everywhere.
I mean, Deshaun's a great quarterback.
Deshaun's
I hope he
amazing
does well this year because he's with what, the Bears? No.
The Browns.
He's with the Browns. That's who it was. I couldn't remember. I hope that turns things around for them. I think it will.
I do think it will.
I really wish the best for Deshaun. Hopefully he can get his off the field act cleaned up. I pray
and hopefully the media will stop mentioning it.
Well, yeah, they need to knock it off because a lot of it was fake.
Right.
And they know it. Some of the people came out and said it, but
right. Yeah, but
of course, now we're part of the media too. So
yeah. Some of the offshoots.
Hear it first.
Yeah, we're part of the media too, but we're admitting that everybody else should knock it off, and we'll try not to mention it.
Well, in the light that they do, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they need to figure it out,
but think about it, how scary this could be. Back to DeAndre Hopkins.
Right.
Think about how scary this could be if the Chiefs went out and signed him to a 2-year deal, for a cheap 2-year deal.
You would get 2 more years worth of Super Bowls is what would happen.
Right. All right. Enough of the NFL talk.
I know. We need to get to the meat and potatoes here.
We need to get to meat and potatoes. Nathan.
Yes, sir.
You and I, and occasionally our friend Levi, which, side note, we'll get him on. Levi, if you're listening, we'll get you on the podcast.
Oh yeah, we'll make it happen.
And you might be on a Kingdom Hearts Revisited episode.
Yeah. Yes.
because we probably will revisit this.
Oh, we're gonna revisit it multiple times.
Yeah,
But
Nathan,
first,
for the last the last 2 years almost, I have taken you on an adventure.
it has been about 2 years, hasn't it? Mm-hmm. No, it's been about year and a half. When did we start playing Kingdom Hearts?
June or July, so it might be a year and a half.
I was gonna say probably about a year and a half. Well, because it wasn't last year.
It wasn't last year. It was the year before during the summer.
Was it?
Right. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you're right.
Yeah. I think it was July 2021.
It was 2021.
So it's closer to 2 years now.
Oh my goodness.
Than a year and a half. But anyway.
That's right, because we had started Kingdom Hearts 3 at the beginning of the fall semester, right, of this past year? And we had spent the better time of... Yeah, because we finished up 2. And then we spent that summer going through all the other games after we finished 1.
Right.
I think we started in the... Did we start in the summer?
We started in the summer.
Yeah.
We started in the summer 21, 21.
2 years.
Took it through the fall and spring of the 2021-2022 school year.
Yep.
With our friend Levi. And then,
that's right, because I was an RDL.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, it's been about 2 years. We've been on this Kingdom Hearts adventure.
Yes. Sorry, I was just reminiscing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And we have made some fantastic memories with this series.
Yeah.
So Nathan.
Yes.
Did you have any... Reminisce a little bit more. Did you have any experience with this franchise before we started playing it?
Not at all.
Did you know any of the characters in it besides...
Besides the little bit you talked about it with me?
Besides a little bit I talked about it with
No, not at all.
And besides obviously the Disney characters, because they're freaking everywhere now.
Well, yeah, but I had no idea. No, I didn't have anything to do with Square Enix's properties and saga.
Yeah.
Outside of it.
Right. So, if y'all don't know what Kingdom Hearts is, let me go on a brief summary.
Boy.
A very brief summary.
We only got like 25, 30 minutes, man.
This might
Can we do it?
This might be a longer episode,
yeah,
bro.
I was gonna say we've been planning this for a second.
We've been planning this. Let's make this a longer episode. Congratulations, y'all! You get a longer episode today.
Yay,
this week.
You get to hear us talk more. Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good thing. I mean, the girl at the Freddy's drive-thru tonight.
Oh my word! We don't need to go into that.
Let's just say some entertaining comments were made.
We got large drinks, and I said, "Wow, that's the definition of large." And then Zach said,
"No, I'm the definition of large."
Oh my word!
Side
look
note
on her face.
Side note, y'all. We're gonna get a camera in here, hopefully. A brief side note. Another inspiration for us, ending this is we have some legal stuff to figure out.
Yep.
We're gonna get some new equipment, maybe.
Yeah, probably another mic.
Right.
Get another mic. We're gonna really primarily focus on getting some form of licensing, copyright protection. So probably.
Pardon me as I take a drink.
Oh no, you're good. I'll just keep talking through it. So
Yeah.
we're gonna try to form an LLC out of this and make this a business, really a side business kind of thing.
Right.
Either an LLC or we'll just copyright the name, call it good.
Right.
But we're gonna get something formalized because we really need to protect ourselves.
Right.
And we need to be smart about it. But we can get ourselves protected, and then we can actually do things a lot more formally.
Right.
And we want to build up things like getting sponsorships, getting more guests. We've hinted at it, getting new guests and guests that have been on previously. So that kind of thing. We really want to build out more.
Right.
But even further future thinking, this won't happen for at least a year, but
Right.
getting some staff even.
Right.
And then also getting more professional video equipment
Right.
but also getting more professional sound effects, getting more structure, advertising probably,
Right.
music bits.
Hold on. We might need to pause here.
Let me pause here. See, now that right there is what we call being a responsible person.
Right. Sorry about that interruption, folks. Nathan is a security. How do you
So
want me to
here's what
say this?
happened. I'm gonna take a detour from what I was saying before. So I'm the head of a security department. I'm the head of the security at Calvary University right now.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me.
And so, yeah, right. So I am almost always carrying the security phone with me, except for when I have my boys go on call.
Right.
Yeah. So, anyways, like I was saying before, so we're gonna get some structure done. We're gonna get some advertising, better sound effects, sound equipment. We're just getting better stuff. We're gonna get more organized.
Right.
And we're really going to put a lot of effort in. And then we're going to take about a month to do so.
And we're also, another side note, we're also, I think we had said this before, but we're also moving. So
Yep.
one of our recording locations will be unavailable for at least a few weeks.
Right.
Just depending on how long it takes us to get set up in our new digs.
Yeah, yeah.
And we might take a short break whenever we move again, whenever that is. I think it's going to be
Probably in August, September.
August, September.
So,
Yeah.
yep.
But yeah, so
So that'll be the end of season 2.
that'll be the end of season 2, or we might pre-record some episodes. We'll see. We'll see how we feel by then.
Yep.
But anyway, yeah.
So Kingdom Hearts.
So Kingdom Hearts, yeah. Sorry, we got sidetracked with.
We got sidetracked from being sidetracked from being sidetracked, and now we finally figured it.
We finally gotten back to the main topic.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all. We're
scatterbrained.
Squirrel.
What?
If that don't tell you how we operate, I don't know what will. But anyway,
Yep.
so I'm going to do the briefest of brief summaries of Kingdom Hearts, a little bit about how it came to be, and a little bit some other things. I also have some lore books with me. Nathan can see them.
Yeah.
I have the ultimate handbook, which is basically a Kingdom Hearts character biopic type of thing, where
Yep.
it gives you a short blurbs about some of the characters in the games.
Mm-hmm.
And I have something else called Kingdom Hearts Ultimania,
Ooh.
which contains everything.
That's a big old book.
Yeah, this contains everything for you Legend of Zelda fans out there. I know they're probably.
Oh, there's a lot.
There's a lot.
I'm in that zone.
I am in that zone too. But for you Legend of Zelda fans out there, this is akin to Hyrule Historia, creating a champion. Those lore books.
There you go.
Which I think I have Hyrule Historia. I'm not sure. I have a Zelda lore book as well. Which we might get our friend Logan Hiskey on.
Oh boy, that would be awesome.
And
yeah, I know we've talked about that.
And I don't know how much Nathan is, how much as well Zelda nerd Nathan is. So that might be.
I'm not as big. I played all of Ocarina of Time on the 3DS.
Cool, but
that's about it.
That might be a Zach and Logan talk more than Zach and Nathan talk. I
Fair
have
enough.
I have a couple other games. I have I have Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword on the Wii.
Right.
I have Breath of the Wild, so I might try and take you through those games.
Right.
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild's a good game, from what I've heard.
It is a good game.
Same thing with Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom is supposed to be fantastic.
It's supposed to be amazing. From the people I've heard about, it's amazing. It's pretty good. But anyway. But yeah, I have the Kingdom Hearts Ultimania. This book contains everything before Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. So it basically goes from 1 to 0.2 Birth by Sleep, a fragmentary passage.
Right. Wow, this is a chunky book. I've just picked it up, and this thing is thick.
And And I talked about
goodness.
and I talked about the Kingdom Hearts Ultimate Handbook, which is just a little dinky little pamphlet almost compared to that thing.
Mm-hmm.
But that contains more details about the universe. It contains more about the characters, the timeline. Oops, I almost fell. One of the books almost fell.
This is in depth.
It is in depth.
Well, you can tell they were trying to make Luminous Engine work. That was the game engine that they were using.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is part of the reason Kingdom Hearts 3 took so long to come out, is they switched from Luminous Engine, the engine they use for all the other games, and switched it to Unreal Engine 4, which looks amazing.
Yeah, Unreal Engine 4 looks awesome. Oh, I forgot about Coded.
Everybody forgets about Coded because nothing happened in it.
You're not wrong.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Okay, so I'm going to start with a brief history of Kingdom Hearts. And this is a very brief. This is all.
You do that.
This is.
I don't even know if I remember it.
This is the briefest of brief histories. So back in like early 2000s, right? 2000, 2001.
I'll pull up a timeline.
Yeah. Basically, late 2000, early 2001 probably, based on the timeline of how games operate. Development of games operate.
Oh,
so, Mario 64 would have just come out.
Yep.
Yeah. Mario 64 would have just come out semi-recently, because I think it came out like in 98 or 99.
98, 99, because by 2002, when the first Kingdom Hearts came out, that's the GameCube would have been out by then.
Yeah. But anyway, the company Square Enix, known then as Squaresoft.
That's right, they were Squaresoft, yeah.
If you don't know who they are, or if you don't know who Square Enix is, they are the developers of the Final Fantasy franchise.
Yep.
So games like Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy X, characters like Sephiroth, Cloud.
I forgot about Cloud.
You know.
He was one of the harder bosses.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, Cloud is in a game with Donald Duck. He's actually in a couple games with Donald Duck. But anyway, getting ahead of ourselves.
Yep.
But anyway, so the developers of the Final Fantasy franchise, which is basically the Disney of video games. That was basically the Disney of video games at that point, because Final Fantasy was a popular franchise, still is a popular franchise. Yep. They're on like 16 or 17 now.
Games?
Yeah, Final Fantasy games.
Let me count it. 1, 2, 3, 4.
They're making Final Fantasy 16, I think.
21 games in the Kingdom Hearts franchise.
Right. I was talking about Final Fantasy. But
yeah. Okay. Sorry. I got.
But yes, there are 21 games in the Kingdom Hearts franchise. He's getting excited, y'all.
I am getting excited, y'all. I've got a whole freaking page pulled up here.
Right. But anyway, yes. So the developers were talking, and they were like, we need to make a game as popular as Mario 64. And they're like, oh, wait, who's a character who can challenge Mario? Because remember, Mario is the uber popular character.
Yep.
Rivaled only by characters such as Sonic and like Crash Bandicoot at that point.
Yeah.
Sonic the Hedgehog for all you Sonic nerds. But anyway, they were like, well, the only characters that can truly rival Mario in terms of popularity are Disney characters. You know, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck. So they were like, we need to make a game with Disney characters. And Tetsuya Nomura, the director for Kingdom Hearts, the Kingdom Hearts franchise, was like, hey, you need to make a game made? I'll make a game. At that point, he was just like a character designer for Final Fantasy.
Right.
He was just like, hey, you want to make a game? I'm your dude.
Yeah.
And they were like, fine, you're hired. We'll give you whatever you want. Let's talk Disney. Then, in one of the most fortuitous moments, so Disney and Squaresoft is a Japan-based company.
Yeah.
So Square Enix and Disney of Japan, basically.
Yeah.
The Japan branch of Disney an executive from each company happened to they shared an office building, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in a fortuitous turn of events, two executives from both companies got into the elevator again, and
Yep.
by the time they got out the elevator, Kingdom Hearts was a concept.
Right.
You heard it here first, folks.
It was an elevator pitch.
It was an elevator pitch, which isn't bad. So they went to Tetsuya Nomura, said, "Okay, you're approved. Go make your game."
Yep. They did it.
So he went and made the first Kingdom Hearts, which was fairly simple and clean.
Mm-hmm.
Deep cut joke there.
Nah.
The opening song for the first game is titled "Simple and Clean" in English.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. But anyway, so Tetsuya Nomura came up with Kingdom Hearts. Originally, the original pitch was, I think Square wanted Donald to be the main character, and Disney wanted Mickey to be the main character. Due to copyright and, contractual stuff, neither of those characters were made to be the main character.
Yep.
And we got the character of Sora.
Yep.
And if you look at Sora's design, at least in 1 and Chain of Memories,
Mm-hmm.
the first 2 games in the timeline,
Mm-hmm.
he takes very heavy inspiration from Mickey's design.
Yeah.
I mean, the oversized,
yeah.
the oversized yellow shoes, the red and black in his
Which they
costume.
kind of brought some of that back.
Yeah.
Toned it back a little bit.
They toned it back a little bit. Sora's now like mostly black and red character style.
Right.
Anyway, so that's how Kingdom Hearts was how Kingdom Hearts 1 was made.
Mm-hmm.
And Tetsuya Nomura left the game open-ended. Left
Mm-hmm.
1 open-ended.
Yep, he did.
So he can make sequels.
Yep.
2, he made, as Nathan said earlier, he made, 20 more games after that?
Yeah. He made 20. Yeah, there was 21 games total, so it would have been 20 more games. Yep.
Yeah, 20 more games after that. And believe it or
he's
not,
making the fourth one.
he's making Kingdom Hearts 4.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, all 21 games are important to the Kingdom Hearts timeline.
It's insane how important. You cannot skip one game.
You can't skip
Of course,
one game.
they've simplified it after 3. Thank God.
Right.
They finally tied everything together and killed the loose ends that they needed to.
Yeah. And I've seen a lot of people say, "Oh, Kingdom Hearts is too confusing, too convoluted."
Okay. To be fair, yes.
You're mistaking convoluted for complicated.
Yeah.
It's complicated, yes.
Or it was.
It was
It was
complicated.
complicated.
Yeah, it was.
Honestly, I think you could go straight from 1 to 3 and not be jarred too heavily.
Yeah. It's a lot to remember, yes, but
I feel
Okay.
like you need Dream Drop
you
and
Okay.
Chain of Memories.
here's what you need. You need 1, 358 days over 2, or however you say it.
Yeah, 358, yeah.
2, Chain of Memories isn't as important. Well, okay, you need Reverse Rebirth because it's important
Yeah.
to Riku's character.
Yeah, you need that one.
Then you can basically skip to Dream Drop, go to Birth. Okay, so Birth by Sleep. Birth by Sleep has often been referred to as Kingdom Hearts 0 because it kind of is. Well, okay. Now you all are seeing why this game is a little bit complicated.
Yeah.
At least for the what's called the Dark Seeker Saga. So basically, every game between Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 3 is what's called the Dark Seeker Saga. And Melody of Memory is a bridge from 3 to the next saga in the timeline.
Right.
Which
right.
we don't know what it is yet because Melody of Memory is the only game in it so far, or
Right.
bridging to it so far,
Right.
connecting the old saga to the new saga.
Mm-hmm.
As Kingdom Hearts is kind of like an anime.
Oh, it's 100% an anime.
Strike that. Kingdom Hearts is basically Disney. It's the closest thing Disney has come to an anime
no.
until Visions.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Until
Star Wars
Visions.
Yeah, Star Wars Visions.
Star Wars Visions was
Is
straight up.
one of the best animes
But
ever. Actually,
but
is what
even
people are
then,
saying.
you could say Star Wars is a subdivision. Like Lucasfilm is a subdivision of Disney.
Marvel and Star Wars are mainline Disney anymore.
Fair enough.
Disney Plus basically owns the company at this point.
Yeah, but anyway.
By the way, do you know how Disney Plus got formed?
In an elevator.
Bob Iger, actually Bob Iger and Steve Jobs were very, very good friends. And Steve Jobs actually was the one originally working on Apple TV Plus.
Cool.
He was actually the one who started the work on it.
Started to work on like streaming services and all that junk.
Yeah, he's the one. Well, they didn't call it TV Plus, but he started all the streaming services push and everything.
Right.
Well, then they kept pushing it, and Bob Iger was on the board for Apple, and then it was like 2018 or something like that, 2019. Bob Iger said, "Hey, I've got to leave the board," because he knew that they were making Disney. You know, obviously he was the CEO of Disney. He knew they were making Disney Plus, and Apple went forward with Apple TV Plus, and he had to step off the board because it was a direct conflict of interest.
Right.
It wouldn't have worked. Sorry, side note.
Side note. But anyway, back to Kingdom Hearts. So we've gone through into a brief history of how the series got started, and how every game is important, because there are characters in 3 that come from every game.
Yeah.
Really, every single game, there are characters from that game in particular.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what was I going to say next? Anyway, Nathan, we have just finished up the base portion of Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yes, we did.
By the way, spoilers for the entire series.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is going to be huge spoilers. I just finished playing 3 today.
Because we are going to talk about stuff from 3 and Melody of Memory. I'm going to talk about stuff from Melody of Memory.
I got to remember the games. That's the problem.
And from every game, honestly. But Nathan, before I get into a way too short summary of the events of the games,
Right.
This is why we said we're going to revisit this series, because it needs more talking.
Yes, absolutely.
This is going to be a long episode as it is, with all that we've talked about and with all that we're going to talk about.
Right.
But anyway, Nathan, I've got a question for you.
I got an answer for you.
What do you think of the games overall, besides them being convoluted as heck? And
outside of the convolutedness, I find them, it grows on you.
Right.
Yeah, you have to let it grow on you. If you play just the first game, you're going to think, wow, that was it, and then you're probably never going to play it again. You have to go through each of the games. Once you connect with the lore of it and can start to put things together, the game gets very, very exciting.
Right.
And that's kind of what I found. A lot of the endings of the games are kind of infuriating, though. I will say that.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, and like I said before, I think Kingdom Hearts 1. It's obviously the first game made in the series. They didn't know how it was going to do.
Yeah, they didn't know how. It did well.
It did very well.
It did very well for the series. It came out at the perfect time too.
Right. I think both A and Kingdom Hearts 2 were part of the greatest hits library for PlayStation.
Yeah.
Which, if you don't know what that is, it's basically
Was it PS1 or PS2?
PS2.
That's what I thought.
But if you don't know what the greatest hits library is it's basically PlayStation would release a game, see how well it did, then they would not PlayStation, but
The company.
The company would release the game. PlayStation would see how well it did, and contact the company and said, "Hey, we'd like to add this game to our
Right.
greatest hits list,"
Right.
which basically means that
That's
they
free
would
money.
more money because they would repackage it basically.
Yep.
They would create the greatest hits packaging for it,
Yep.
which will make them more money.
Oh yeah, because everyone's gonna see. Oh, hey, it's the greatest hit, so
Yeah.
obviously it's a good game, and it was.
Right.
Is.
Anyway, but yeah.
I hope they can remaster all of the games with really, really good graphics if they can. Although they've done that about 100 times.
They've done that. I doubt they're going to take the older games and put them into Unreal. I mean, they didn't do that for 3.
Yeah.
And if you watch through some of the cutscenes of 3, they'll flash back to other games, and the cutscenes.
They literally just like screen capped it from.
They screen capped it, and they added
older games.
They added a bit of like fuzz to it, so they're just like, oh,
Yeah.
we're remembering this.
But
still. Anyway, so now we can get into a way too short summary of the titles. I have the timeline in the book and
I'm glad you've got it.
and Ultimania pulled up right now. So before I start, there are some terms I have to get out of the way.
Yep, go for it.
We said this series was convoluted. These are just things you're gonna have to explain. You're just gonna have to
accept.
accept.
Yeah.
That's how one YouTube channel I watched put it. Things you're just gonna have to accept
Yep.
in the lore of the series.
Yep.
First of all is the Keyblade. Well, actually, there are two terms when I say Keyblade. There's something called the Chi Blade, which is the Greek letter Chi.
The key.
Key, which is basically the Greek letter key, or
it looks like an X.
It looks like an X, basically.
Yeah.
It's called the X Blade just because it's two Kingdom Keys, basically crossed, with a sword sticking out the gap, and the front gap pretty much. But anyway, the X Blade is how I'm gonna refer to it.
Yeah.
Just so we're not
confusing people.
Not confusing people when I say Keyblade. I'm not talking about the X thing with the sword blade.
So there's two things. There is a key blade, just a normal key, and then there's the X blade,
which is like basically the one true Keyblade, but
yeah,
we're calling it the X blade.
That's further in the game series. So.
The key a normal Keyblade, I should say.
Yep.
Is the stuff that is the thing the main character sort of wields. Most of the main cast wields it, and in the games, it takes on different forms depending on the wielder.
Yep.
Sora's is obviously the most famous. Is the Kingdom Key.
Mm-hmm.
I have a replica of that in our apartment.
Yep.
So the Kingdom Key would be the most famous one. Anyway, so the X-Blade, one true Keyblade. The Keyblades our characters wield are like imitations.
And they look like keys, but
And
they treat them like swords.
Yeah.
So they're basically just enlarged keys.
They're enlarged keys, and while they look like normal keys, they are magical in nature.
That's putting it lightly.
Take the Kingdom Key, for example. It just looks like an enlarged, of one of those old style keys that you stick in the rock.
Skeleton key kind of thing.
Skeleton key. It looks like an enlarged key. It looks like it's just a blunt edge. Somehow it cuts things.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it there, okay?
Yeah.
So the Keyblade, the X-Blade and the Keyblades are magical in nature, and their forms are dependent on the wielder, on who's wielding them.
Yep.
Except for the Kingdom Key and the Kingdom Key D.
We don't want to confuse them too much with all that.
That'll be another episode.
Yeah.
Anyway, next thing is worlds.
Yeah.
When I'm talking about a world, it's basically they treat them like planets
They're more
in
realms.
the games. Think of them more like different dimensions.
Yeah. And you can
So-
it's like the multiverse but on steroids.
So in these dimensions, obviously there are some original worlds to Kingdom Hearts that are Kingdom Hearts exclusive worlds, like Hollow Bastion and Traverse Town and Destiny Islands.
Yeah, I was gonna say Destiny
Those-
Island is the main one.
When I refer to Destiny Islands or Hollow Bastion, those are Kingdom Hearts specific worlds.
Is that referenced at all in
They're
the Switch game?
Melody of Memory.
No, Smash. No, Sora's in Smash.
Shores and Smash. There are some references to it.
Yeah.
They basically had to take all Disney out of it because Disney.
You're right. Well, now they're finally kind of starting to get rid of that whole mantra, but
But anyway. So when I say, but most of the worlds are centered around Disney movies, like Little Mermaid,
Yeah.
Mulan, Tron, to name some.
Toy Story.
Toy Story, to name a few examples.
Yeah, the Tron world was cool. That was cool.
Yeah, but normally these worlds are like in their own little pocket, with
Yep.
like barriers around them. You can't get to them.
Yeah. And you have to fly to them
Right.
with the gummy ship.
Yeah. Like I said, they treat them like planets. They are more separate dimensions that have no idea of anything outside of their dimensional border.
Unless you're an interdimensional being.
Unless you're a certain character. Like, okay, Hercules is one of the worlds in in the Kingdom Hearts universe,
Yeah.
right? With the characters in there, it is reasonable to assume that characters like Zeus and Hades would know of the other dimensions.
Well,
in
they kind of
the other
have
worlds.
to, because the way that they reference things, you kind of
Right.
have to.
So, if you are living, if you are living in one of these worlds, you would have no idea of anything beyond the borders of your realm,
Right.
unless you were a magical creature of some time,
Yep.
a deity it's considered a deity in your
Yep.
realm, or an otherwise a similarly powerful character in your world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next. Next term is the heart. When I talk about the heart, I'm not talking about the physical beating organ in the chest. We're talking about the metaphysical one, right?
Feelings. Emotions.
The metaphysical term heart is what I say.
Right.
What I say in reference to Kingdom Hearts when I say
Right.
heart.
Your will.
Right. Well, even then, your will is separate from your heart.
Yeah. It's a
You're-
weird.
And that's
Yeah.
another thing. When I say the term heartless,
Yeah, heartless is a new thing.
yeah, when I say the term heartless, it is the well, okay. I have to explain darkness. What darkness?
Yeah, I was gonna say you gotta go back a little
Okay,
bit. Yeah.
rewind a little bit. So, all the worlds, like basically the entirety of the Kingdom Hearts universe, is made up of light and darkness. That means every person, every world, every heart. The worlds contain hearts as well, by the way. They
Yeah.
contain hearts of themselves.
Yeah.
So every living being has a heart of some capacity, and then within every heart exists both light and darkness.
Yeah.
And ideally, in the perfect world, light and darkness exist evenly matched
Yes.
in a person's heart.
Yes.
Anyway, we don't know what happens when someone gets overtaken by light, I assume they remain as they are.
Well, the end of 3, you can kind of see it.
We don't know.
That I could see that at the end of 3. Sorry, I won't off trail you there.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know if that is the effect of light. Yeah, I know. But anyway, darkness. When someone gets taken over by darkness, they produce a heartless.
Yeah.
If their will is strong enough, they will also produce a nobody.
Yeah.
So heartless is the heart taken over by darkness. Nobody is the strong will and body left over.
And if you want to restore a person after they've become a heartless and a nobody, you have to destroy both.
And then they will be...
And then they will come back.
Right. Anyway, I think that's all the terms for now. Like I said, this is going to be...
This is very, very brief.
This is very, very brief. Anyway, I'm going to speed through the timeline because it's massive if we get too in-depth in it. But anyway, the timeline starts off with a Kingdom Hearts key, Unchained, Union Cross, whatever you want to call it. And it tells the events leading up to and including something called the Keyblade War,
right,
where the world was enveloped in darkness, but thanks to the light in the hearts of children was saved and made into the modern world we know. We will come to know in the later games.
Yeah.
Fast forward an indiscriminate amount of time, era or so. It could be millennia. It could be centuries.
We really don't know.
We don't know. Even the timeline doesn't say have a specific set time between.
Right. I feel like 4 is going to explain some of that. I hope.
Yeah.
I hope. Yeah.
To the events of Birth by Sleep, to the descendants of some of the Keyblade wielders of old in the Keyblade that took part.
There's a big thing called the Keyblade War way back in the day.
That took part in the Keyblade War. We have 2 masters named Ericus and Xehanort. Xehanort is the big bad of this saga.
He's the bad guy.
He's the bad guy.
Who turns good at the very, very end.
It's more of a he's a misunderstood good guy than a bad person, roughly. But anyway, that's
a stretch.
Ericus has 3 pupils: Aqua, Terra, and Ventus.
Who are awesome, by the way.
Awesome. Aqua is I'm the person of light. Terra is I'm sort of an edgelord. And
And Ven's just cotton on.
And Ven's just there. Because
he's the add-on.
Yeah.
He's the third wheel.
He's the third wheel here.
Literally.
But anyway, so Xehanort is kind of a scientist. He wants to see what would happen if the Keyblade War happened again.
We can't forget about Ansem.
We'll explain him later. Let's not confuse him.
He's a pretty big part of the...
We'll kind of explain him later.
Yeah.
So the events of the game play out. So Xehanort is kind of stringing the 3 apprentices along, as well as Ericus.
Yeah.
So he goads Xehanort and his apprentice Vanitas goad these 3 people into going off into the world.
Yeah.
To defeat the darkness, basically.
Yeah. So
they go out. Ven is initially not supposed to go, but he follows because he's
Ven.
He's stupid and gets goaded into it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Terra's an edgelord that slowly succumbs to the darkness. At the end of the game, we have the big fight between Xehanort and his henchman, Vanitas, and a guy named Bragg.
Right.
Who's a very important character, it turns out. But anyway,
we'll get there.
We'll get there. But anyway, and a guy named Bragg. They go off and fight the 3 Keyblade wielders. Aqua's made a master in the beginning of the game. I should have mentioned that.
Somehow, Sora still is not a master.
Somehow. Although I think it can be implied by the end of 3. Anyway.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later. But anyway. So the 3 the three Keyblade wielders win, but at great cost.
Yep.
Terra ends up being possessed by Xehanort
Yeah.
because Terra is being molded into a host for Xehanort's heart. Because
Right.
Xehanort can basically take his heart out and put it in another person.
Yeah.
Ventus was supposed to be a vessel for the X-Blade to appear.
Yeah.
Because the X-Blade is the only way to unlock the one true Kingdom Hearts. Which is basically the collection pot for the hearts of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. And Aqua is just there as a motivation force.
Yeah.
So by the end of the game...
That's a good way to explain that, yeah.
Yeah. By the end of the game, Terra has been possessed by the main antagonist. Ventus is in a comatose state because him and Vanitas were initially one being, and Ventus had to basically break his own heart, in a sense,
Right.
to prevent the Keyblade from being formed. He goes off to a character named Sora to basically heal his heart.
Right. Right.
So Ven is in a comatose state, and Aqua has lost her two best friends. So she takes Ventus's comatose body to their home world, locks it up into a place called the Castle Oblivion. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
And then goes off to find Terra, fights Terra. Terra, she beats Terra, gets lost to the realm of darkness. Terra has amnesia.
Yeah, pretty much.
Then we get into a approximately 10-year time gap where the fusion of Terra and Xehanort goes by the name of Princess Xehanort. I know I'm speeding through this, y'all.
I know. I was going to say, we skipped a lot of details.
We skipped a lot of details.
I was like, whoa. I was trying to keep ahead there.
I promise you all right now, we will come back to this.
Oh, this is going to have multiple revisits after we update our everything.
Yes.
Keep going.
But anyway, we get to this 10-year gap. Xehanort is apprenticed to a guy named Ansem the Wise, who's the ruler of the world Hollow Bastion.
Thank you for going to Ansem.
Yes. Also in this 10-year gap, he meets approximately 5 or 6 other dudes. I think it's
something like
6. I think it's 6 because they make up. So he meets the other apprentices of Ansem the Wise. They perform various inhuman experiments concerning the heart and darkness. Ansem the Wise tries to put a stop to it. Xehanort's just like, nah, bro, I'm going to keep doing it. Shoves Ansem the Wise out into literally the world of darkness.
Yep.
Shoves him in there, and then proceeds to split the hearts from the bodies of himself and the other apprentices.
It's insane.
The Heartless and Nobody of Apprentice Xehanort, or Terranort, as he's called.
Terranort.
If your will is strong enough, you can retain more of your humanity, basically.
Yeah.
The stronger you will,
weird.
The stronger you will, the more human you are as a nobody. So, the Heartless are basically animalistic. They're more like forces of nature. So, the Heartless of Terranort, of the Terra Xehanort fusion, goes on to call himself Ansem, Seeker of Darkness. And his basic theory is everything was born from darkness, it goes back to darkness, hoopla.
Right. Even though that's not how that works. It's
Terranort's nobody calls himself Xemnas, and has in his possession Aqua's Keyblade armor and her Keyblade.
Yep.
Because basically she had to rescue Terra from the realm of darkness.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. It's a weird stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, so now we have Ansem the Seeker of Darkness and Xemnas. And they go off to try and get Kingdom Hearts. Because that's the Master Xehanort. That's real Xehanort's ambition, is to get Kingdom Hearts.
Right.
Fast forward to Kingdom Hearts 1. I almost skipped it.
I was like, bruh, you cannot skip that.
Kingdom Hearts 1 has the simplest story because
It really is a simple story.
It's a simple story.
Until
It's
everything after
good
that
versus
happens.
bad. So we return to the character I mentioned before, Sora,
Thank you. Yeah.
with Ventus in his heart, sleeping in his heart. We don't know that at this point because Birth by Sleep hasn't come out at this time. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's this whole thing where especially with Sora. With Sora, they do this all the time. It's with other characters too.
Right.
But Sora is like actually 3 people.
Right.
But the other 2 are dwelling in his heart, is the way I've understood it.
And that's basically the way they
It's
explain
like Ven and Roxas, right?
Ventus and Roxas, and later on a character named Xion. But
Well, Shion is...
Xion is a special case. Anyway.
And let's not get started on Naminé.
We'll get to those characters.
We're name dropping things casually just to get it in your mind so that when you hear it again, you're not totally lost.
Right.
Like
anyway.
I normally am because this game series is convoluted, even though it's actually a lot of fun. So.
Yeah. Beginning of 1. We rejoin Sora, who, unbeknownst to him, has Ven's heart sleeping inside him. It gets weirder from there.
Right.
So anyway, Sora, his friend Kairi, who was originally from Hollow Bastion.
Sora and Kairi are a thing. Let's just say that.
Yeah, Sora and Kairi are a thing. Kairi was originally a citizen of Hollow Bastion. Hollow Bastion fell to darkness.
Yeah.
And Kairi somehow ended up on Destiny Islands, Sora's home.
Right.
And his friend Kairi is basically the token female lady woman in this game.
She's the MJ to Spider-Man.
Right. She's a damsel in distress.
Yes.
Anyway, let's speed on. I'm going at a breakneck pace. You are going to be so confused.
Oh, boy.
But anyway, we also meet Sora's best friend, totally not an edgelord, Riku. He's practically an edgelord at this point.
He's an emo boy to the max. Until the end, then he turns into like a god.
Right. So okay. So these are basically 14 and 15-year-old kids.
And they act like it too.
They act like it too. They get it into their heads like, oh, we want to go visit other worlds. We want to see Kairi's homeworld, even though it's basically a wreck at this point.
And it started a whole thing.
Anyway, so they build a raft. At the end of the raft building, oh no, Destiny Islands becomes swallowed in darkness. Riku and Kairi go missing.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Sort of.
Sort
but
of.
then Sora ends up getting teleported.
Sora gets teleported to a place called Traverse Town.
Yeah.
Which is basically kind of a refugee camp for people whose worlds have
Fallen
apart. He meets a guy named Leon from the Final Fantasy games.
I forgot about Leon. Yeah, he was cool.
Aerith from Final Fantasy VII, and Yuffie. I think she's also from Final Fantasy VII.
They're cool, man.
They
were real. They were real.
They basically fill Sora in on what happened to Ansem. Like one day he was all chill and cool, then the next day he was just like, "Oh, I'm falling to darkness." Bam. Oh, they don't know what happened.
Bad things happened.
But all they know is their world has fallen apart, and they don't know where Ansem is. And they know they have these things called the Ansem reports that might be able to help.
There's Ansem reports hidden all over the world, and you pick them up, and then you get to read them. And they are very, very important.
That clue you in on some of the story. Anyway, so we go through all the Disney worlds, meet up with Riku a couple times. He's being Edgelord Supreme.
Yeah, he's being freaking emo boy.
He's basically training on Sora. Yeah, I know. He's basically training on Sora like you don't know. Anyway, we get to the end of Kingdom Hearts 1. All right. To the end of 1. And Sora meets up with Ansem, the Secret of Darkness possessed Riku.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to open Kingdom Hearts. It's all darkness and stuff. It's going to be awesome.
Opening up Kingdom Hearts is the goal of every bad guy in the series.
Right.
If you open Kingdom Hearts up, you reset the planet to a point that we actually don't know.
Right.
We don't know what'll actually happen if you reset Kingdom Hearts. We have theories, but we don't know.
Basically, when the Keyblade War happened, Kingdom Hearts reset it to what it is now. We don't know what'll happen if it resets again. Right.
Yeah.
So anyway,
It would probably go back to the Keyblade War, if you want me to be honest.
probably, and we'll see in this next arc. Anyway.
That's right. Yeah, in 4 we will.
So, and we're skipping a lot of details, obviously, in this game.
You guys are just gonna have to play it to figure it out.
You got to play
Wink,
it to
wink, nudge, nudge.
wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Go play Kingdom Hearts.
It's awesome. You won't regret it.
So here we are at the end of 1, and I just realized that we don't have enough time to record a summary of the rest of the series.
Off mic, we actually both were like, "This is gonna take forever."
So what's gonna happen is this will be a 2-part episode, kind of.
Maybe 3. I don't know.
Maybe 3. What's gonna happen, y'all, is I'm gonna basically explain the events of up till the end of 1.
Mm-hmm.
Then we are going to end the season 2 premiere, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to continue with the summary of the rest of the games, hopefully.
Yeah.
And then maybe if we do we might need to do a 3-part episode where we talk about some more stuff, like the music and the other things in the series.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, so let's get back to the end of 1.
Yeah. The end of 1. Yeah.
So Sora seals the keyhole for Hollow Bastion, which is
sealing the keyhole.
Yeah.
We need to explain that.
So, as I said before, worlds have hearts.
Yeah.
And the Heartless can get to these hearts, which is basically the core of the planet.
Yeah, they can get to the core of the planet, the heart.
And basically pull a Death Star from Star Wars and blow it up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened to Destiny Islands. That's what kind of happened to Hollow Bastion.
Yeah. So you guys know, we've been very, very open about it. We are both Christian guys.
Right.
Who love video games, who love sports, who love anything super nerdy, right?
Right.
Kingdom Hearts actually mimics a lot of the Bible. With the whole light versus dark thing and the whole... in 3, it really actually comes out the most, I think.
Right. Which we'll get to.
Because it's literally the Genesis 1 account that they reference in the beginning was
later
the
on.
Light.
Which we'll get to later on.
I know.
But anyway,
just
to finish the summary of 1, Sora seals the keyhole and basically chases down Ansem Seeker of Darkness.
Yeah.
He rescues Kairi finally and sends her off to Traverse Town to be safe.
Yeah.
Goes in for his final showdown with Ansem possessed Riku.
Yep.
They fight.
And he wins.
He wins. Then he goes on further to a place called the End of the World, which is basically an amalgamation of all the destroyed worlds up till now.
Yep.
I'm skipping a lot of details just because we still need to go fast.
Right.
Then in the world he finds Ansem Seeker of Darkness, now in a beefier body, thanks to him possessing Riku's body.
Yep.
And basically casting off Riku's heart. I'm sorry, I hit my mic there.
Are you good?
Anyway.
Like we said, better equipment.
Better equipment. So, he has his final showdown with Ansem Seeker of Darkness, defeats him in front of basically a version of Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
This isn't the true Kingdom Hearts. It's just a version of it.
A version of it, yeah.
We'll see another version or two pop up here and there later on in the series.
Yeah.
Which we will explain once we get to them.
Yeah.
But anyway, and Ansem the Secret Darkness reaches out for Kingdom Hearts, like, hey, grant me infinite darkness, basically. And Kingdom Hearts is like, nah, bro, I'm light. Blows him up.
Yep.
So Ansem Secret Darkness at this point has been once and for all defeated, or basically mostly defeated. He'll come back later.
Right.
We'll get to that in the next few episodes.
Yeah, we'll get there.
I promise we will.
We're going to keep going on this one. This is going to be a while.
This is going to be a long episode. This is going to be a long
episode part.
Long episode part.
I'm really excited for this, Zachary. I really am.
I'm really excited. So now that we have reached the end of 1, well, basically, Sora closes the door to Kingdom Hearts, says goodbye to Kairi,
I'm sweating, man.
Goes off to find Riku, and thus the rest of the series.
Yes.
All
right.
So this is a good point to cut off the story summary.
This is a good point
because, like, when I initially asked Nathan if he wanted to play Kingdom Hearts, I was like,
not gonna lie, I was hesitant. I was very hesitant.
You were hesitant.
You could probably tell.
I could tell. I was just like, how about this? We play 1. If you don't like it,
and then you hooked me, and then we've been playing it for the past 2 years.
Yes. I was like, how about this? We play 1. You don't like it. The story is fairly simple. You don't like it by the end of the game. You don't. We can just end it there.
But we're gonna talk about it anyways. So
yeah, we're gonna talk about it anyways. We can end it there, and boom.
Yep.
Nathan got hooked.
I got hooked.
Played up until the end of base Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah. I still gotta go through Remind and everything.
We got to go through the DLC, and I don't know if I'll take you through Melody of Memory. I'll probably just explain what happens there because it's not really.
Yeah.
It's not really too important.
It's probably not that. Yeah.
Like I said, it's just a bridge to the next phase of the
right.
Kingdom Hearts universe.
I can't wait till Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out. Hopefully, it's next year that it comes out. Hopefully.
Yeah, but anyway.
So.
As Nathan said before, we are Christian guys, and this is like. Let me be clear about something. This game franchise does heavily draw upon a Disney theology, the Disney.
It does build on the Disney theology.
Disney theology.
Follow your heart.
Yeah,
sadly.
You can do what you want as long as you believe.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Makes me mad. But
that doesn't mean
it's a good series.
It is a good series. That doesn't mean we can't enjoy it as Christians.
It's because we're discerning.
Right.
And mature in Christ.
Right.
That's how that works.
Yeah. All right.
All right, guys.
We're
on the last one.
We're on the last one.
That's it.
We're gonna say goodbye for a little bit, a month or so, like we said.
Maybe even less. It might be less than that, honestly. We just got to take some time, figure out.
We got to take some time.
We got to figure our crap out, Zach. That's what it is. We got to
figure our crap out. We got to take some time, move.
I hate moving.
Move.
Did I tell you I hate moving?
Yeah.
Hey, Zach, I hate moving.
Hey, Skip, shut up.
All right, Shannon.
Yeah, we got to take some time, move, get the legal stuff Nathan explained earlier figured out. Get some better equipment, hopefully. Like new mic, like a new mic, a new mic stand for one of the mics because I know it's a little depressing. It's a little depressing, but this is not the end of the podcast.
No, it is not. In fact, we're actually our numbers are looking pretty good for the podcast right now.
And hopefully, we will see you all. See y'all in the next season, and hey, you might be able to see us. We might start releasing the podcast on YouTube and some other video spaces. And then you might be able to see some of the outtakes we have while we take our breaks.
Yeah. See us ranting with each other. You might get some BTS. You might get maybe some pre-roll.
While Nathan is off taking care of some security stuff, you might see me do a bunch of random crap. While I should
start a security podcast.
Gosh.
No, I'm not going to do that.
No. But anyway, while I go take a leak, he'll sit there here and be like, do. Anyway.
You mean we do that?
Yeah. We sit here and fart around while whoever's
Don't tell them all our secrets. We have ideas, folks. We have ideas.
Anyway, this is goodbye for now.
Goodbye.
We will see you later.
Yeah, we will. Literally this time.
Well,
You won't hear us later. You will hear us later. You won't.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed the first part of the Kingdom Hearts series and of podcasts and the season 1 finale. I thought we were going to fit more into this, but we couldn't.
We fit an hour and 20 minutes worth of stuff, and
Yeah.
so
But anyway, we will catch you on the flippity flop.
that is the flippity flop.
Or the
same
floppity
bat
flip.
channel, same bat place. 3 p.m. Sunday. Deuces.
Bye-bye.
Bye.